Yo, what's going on, everybody? GZTV back with another one, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the fourth episode of The Boys, Female of the Species. Now, this series has been progressing pretty damn well. We watched the fourth episode, me and my dad, last night. We've been watching all these TV shows. He refuses to watch Euphoria with me, though, because it is explicit. I will give him the fairness of that. Shout out to the Review Geek. Shout out to Greg Wheeler for giving us a nice little article to read from and guide us through this review and this discussion. So yeah, we start off with the plane crash. This episode begins with Butcher, well, before the plane crash, but the plane crash was like the main part of the episode. There were other storylines going on, but this was a big focus. Really showed some bad character on the part of Homelander and Maeve. But this episode begins with Butcher going about his morning routine after dreaming of his ex, Flame. He then goes back to the FBI and speaks to Agent Rayner, promising to be able to bring down the supers. So yeah, he proposes a plan. Meanwhile, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, and Huey all infiltrate the Noodle operation in a bid to find the V serum. They know this Noodle man that's been running around trading Compound V to people for noodles. That sort of thing. Excuse me. However, on the way, they come across a strange girl in a cage and they let her go. This is a very fucking bad decision. This girl's fucking crazy. Fucking maniac, dude, let me tell you. Okay. Unfortunately, this backfires and the girl slaughters the guards who show up. Honestly, that's not a bad thing, though, because they probably would have got shot if it wasn't for this girl, so. She unintentionally saved the day, I guess. Butcher appears soon after to do damage control, but Huey gets a message from Starlight and leaves. So I guess the guards getting killed might have looked bad for them because it looked like they just full-on murdered them. And the way this girl killed these guys, my god, it was fucking terrible. She ripped their eyes out Vecna style, broke their necks, tore into their torsos. It was ridiculous. The Deep starts to have regrets about his involvement with the Seven and the lack of substance with his role. So he's feeling like too much of a side character, too much of a Robin to the Batman that is the Seven, right? Kind of feels like that. I understand. He should leave the Seven, to be honest, because it's going to be making it easier for the victims and the villains to go after this organization. However, Madeline refuses to let him go and do a mission himself. Yeah. Meanwhile, A-Train sees the crime scene and immediately goes to Pop Claw and confronts her, telling her to pack her bags and leave before Homelander finds her. So Homelander is going to probably try to beat the shit out of her because of what she did to the landlord? I don't know. She took the Compound V, she took it. I don't think Homelander's going to be very happy. I don't think that's going to bode very well. Huey and Starlight have their scheduled date soon after, and he learns that Translucent had a kid, which sends him reeling. This makes him feel very bad for what they did to Translucent. He got blown to pieces. His body's unrecognizable. I don't even think the authorities found the remains. That sucks, man. I would feel great sympathy for Translucent's situation. The team then works on tracking down the female while the date continues. Right, they're trying to find this girl while Huey's hanging out with Starlight. Good man, Huey, good man. Trying to get on the Seven's good side, I guess. Frenchie finally finds her in an audio shot, but goes off script and tries to rationale with her instead of simply knocking her out. I like that he did this. It showed a lot of character from Frenchie. It showed that he's been through situations before in his life, and he just wants other people to find the relief that he's found. It works for a little bit before she dashes out of the shop after the TV changes channels and she kind of panics and runs away. She likes listening to music. That's what kind of keeps her tame, almost. Up in the air, Homelander and Queen Maeve set out to stop terrorists in the midst of hijacking a plane, but run into problems along the way. And some of the problems they cause. After stopping the hijackers, Homelander kills the controls to the plane thanks to his laser eyes. So yeah, this is kind of playing on the idea that superheroes destroy more than they help sometimes. Hurt more than they help, if you will. Deciding it's futile to carry on, he leaves the passengers to their fate and flies away with a remorseful Maeve in tow. Some Maeve, or however you say her fucking name, I don't really care. She's not really that important of a character. She's like, oh shit, I don't want to leave these people on the plane. I am a superhero. They're looking at me as a role model to help them out. And I'd make the headlines and stuff. I'd get a big name out of it. But she's like, oh, whatever. I guess Homelander wants me to dip on out of there. As Homelander and Maeve look over the wreckage to the flight after its inevitable crash they refuse to stop, Homelander uses this as an opportunity to further his claim for them entering into military operations. He's telling the news guys, he's like, well, maybe if they would have told us to go there earlier or whatever, it would have been fine, but the military would never let us let people die like this. On the ground, our ragtag group of heroes catch up with the female on the underground, but not before A-Train arrives and begins smashing her head against the wall. It was the most comical looking shit. It was one of the most fake, most satirical things I've seen on this show. And it's full of it. I think it's so funny how he was beating the shit out of this girl and she wasn't going to die because she had the compound V in her pretty much. Thankfully, the group band together and saved her before eventually knocking her out and taking her away. A-Train could have fucking killed her the way he was smashing her head against that wall. It was kind of crazy. With the female on the run, seeing the dysfunctional group and A-Train collide feels organic and certainly brings these two worlds together of the villain yet superheroes and the fraudulent superheroes. There's a lot of interesting moral questions raised this time around too, with issues on equality, what it means to be a hero, and the cost of all of this called into question too. Because, Homelander was like, I could save these people, but we're probably going to die too. I don't want to do that. I'm selfish. Yeah, a lot of superheroes are selfish. They want to maintain this legacy, this career they got. The plane crash is shocking, but the aftermath and ensuing advantageous position Homelander takes is equally as surprising too. You thought him letting people die was surprising? How about him lying to the news and saying that people delayed their troops or delayed the reinforcements of the superheroes? Called up on them too late, if you will. Homelander's position as the main antagonist is very ironic. It's certainly a nice play on his character. It works really well in the context of the show. What else to say? A strong episode. The boys continue to impress with this latest slice of superhero action. Yeah, I like it. It's about a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't really have anything else to say. I should watch Umbrella Academy again. I don't know. We'll see about it. But I gotta go.